Hello, I'm the Tycoon Engineer and welcome to this Transport Fever 2 playthrough where we're going on a road to $1 billion with just road vehicles. And in this episode, the 5th episode, we are solving a problem. At the end of the last episode we had a complete traffic jam here. So I've been experimenting a little bit with this depot, and you can see if I look at the lines, look at the line manager, you can see the flow through here. We've got a nice flow through this station now. Not that happy about this redundant platform, but for the time being this will do. What we're going to do in this episode is we're going to build a new depot, road depot somewhere else, and we're going to experiment with the layout, because this setup here with going in and out like this always leaves a redundant platform on one side, which I don't really like. It doesn't look very neat. Overall this is better than the mess I cleaned up last time at our depot way over here. Where was that one? We had a depot down here where we created quite an interesting setup, but it doesn't look that good, and but it did clear the traffic because we had a major traffic pile-up with that one. So we're going to build another depot, and I'm thinking that we build one over here near Berkhamsted, where we have Stockton-on-Tees here just by. So I feel like we can connect that into our Carnforth setup here, and when we do that we will hopefully find a better method, and we can reconstruct other road depots around to match that, because we want to start connecting in here Berkhamsted to our central depot, so when we take in tools, fuel and construction materials for Stockton-on-Tees, they can start flowing to Berkhamsted and we can connect that into our network. So Berkhamsted, let's build you a depot. So we're going to start here. I've been watching a few other YouTubers, how they do it, and I like one by Grounded Gamer. Again, I mentioned him before, but he also had a really cool video where he spoke about having the entrances being on the side and the exits being at the ends. So what we'll do for this one is we'll start to do that. So every platform is, I think the vehicles like to use the right hand side to load and offload. So what I'm thinking is that the vehicles will come in at the end. Let's have a slightly longer platform, and we'll have one either side, and then the vehicles will exit to one of these sides. So looking at this one, I'm just going to pop it here, and then we'll go into the configuration menu. We'll get rid of this here. So if we build, let's lengthen these platforms out to the full length that we probably want. So if the vehicles come in this way on this side, we want them to turn to their right, and their right here, and then come out this side, so we get a nice L-shaped flow of traffic through there. And as we build more platforms here, then hopefully we'll get that flow. So we'll go to the street access, we'll put on our exits here and here like so, and then we'll put an entrance here which can be used as an exit as well. But I'm hoping that the vehicles will come in this way, they will go around that way, use the right hand side, although they're not going to, are they going to use this right hand side, this platform, if they come in that way? Maybe we need one on that side. But they'll use the right hand side, and come down here, use the right hand side, right hand side, right hand side, and then exit through here. And hopefully we don't get any build up of traffic on there. What that'll do is also, it means if we do get a backup, a queue, it will be out here and not in the way of these exits, so we won't get that problem of we won't get the problem of the exits blocking up the entrances, because that was the main issue we had with the last episode. So we're going to do that there. we're going to bring a road out and around to here to fully connect up our Berkhamsted branch. So hopefully vehicles will come in this way and go out that way. So we do need to, let's connect in a couple things into this depot here. So we need a vehicle which is going to take cargo, and we'll just do the one now so we can see how the line's set up. So we need it to stop at the cargo hub, and we also want it to stop at the Berkhamsted branch, and you can see that works really nicely now, where they're going to use this terminal and they come in this way and out that way, and that creates a really nice flow through. And the other thing I saw recommended by Grounded Gamer was to set the line up so that it will use every single terminal there, and you can see it can use that one. If you want to use the right hand side of this one and these, they do have to do that turnaround, which is not ideal. So it doesn't quite work out perfectly, because they're still wanting to use the right hand side over here. So maybe we need to move the platforms over here and get rid of these platforms to create that better flow through. So we'll do that now, because that's what we're doing. We're experimenting with the with that, so we can knock out these platforms here. I'm just going to pause the game actually. So we still have our exit and entrance there. Let's put our... We can't actually put our entrance on this side without potentially a platform. Is that right? There. So I don't really like that as a setup. I want to just come in on this side, really. I can put it there and I can put it there, and then they would go through here. They would turn right and leave there. They want to use the right hand side. They want to come in and use this right hand side. So I'm hoping if I put it there, they will come and use that there, and then we can put the additional platforms over on this side, and we'll see how that flow works. So we'll come and add in our roads, get rid of that one, and we'll bring this road connected with our street like so. And if we have a look again at how that affects the line, so it's doing, if it's using this one, it has to come through there, so it needs an exit really. It's trying to come out and use this exit. So if we move this, let's choose that, let's configure this. If we move this exit along to the further side, so let's put an exit right at the end. Hopefully everything will be able to use that. Now if they're coming down this way and we stick the street in here, then how does that affect? So those two are still going out and then backwards. They're not coming along this way. So they do like to leave around the top. They come in here and they want to leave there. They do not want to turn right here. So this seems to be like a left-hand lane. So maybe we need to have an exit on this side. I know this is looking a little messy, but I'm just trying to figure this out for myself. How does that affect? Well, obviously I've not connected that up. So let's try putting an exit in there. We can get rid of the one later. So that works really nicely. And if I put this line and manage it, and I change the platforms to use the others, see now that's using all four of the platforms there. They're all coming out this way, and we can actually remove that road, and we can configure this to remove this little exit here. It just neatens it all off, and then we're looking at this line. We have now got our Berkhamsted goods line, so we can rename that Berkhamsted goods. Cool. Okay, so that works a lot better. That looks a lot neater. Maybe I can make that loop a little shorter, but it does allow traffic to queue if necessary along this road without blocking the exit. So we do need to take some material from Berkhamsted because at the moment this is not actually connected to the town. If we extend this street out here, oh, I've run out of money. Oh dear. That was an expensive little experiment. So we do need some money to come in, and then we can connect those out. That might capture some of that, but I think what we're going to need is a little stop here with our cargo to drop off some of the material there. And if we connect this road onto the end here, it's going to cost me 4,000. What has happened to my finances? So we're not making a huge amount of money at the moment, and we seriously lost out on some of our income over the last period because of some of the traffic jams we had with our road depot. So definitely a lesson learned there, but we are still getting some money in. We can bring that road out, and that'll mean the vehicles will come in there. We want to use this one, so we're going to bring this road in to the end, and that's going to cost me another 4,000. I am still struggling with money, which is unusual at this stage of the game, so I do need to check on the lines I have. Our Berkhamsted timber, now where are we losing money? Our oil line is still losing money, and that was our big money maker. So that is flowing, it appears now. Still quite a bit of traffic building up. What I'm going to do is take that recommendation. I'm going to manage this line, and I'm going to say, look, if you get to this central place and you cannot find a platform, use the others. Use any platform they do here, and hopefully that will increase the flow. So that means the vehicles here can choose any platform that is free when they come in. It might not be the most efficient path around the depot, but it's going to get the juices flowing for our income. So that is helping somewhat. And they are going through with the oil, taking back the refined. Hopefully it's being produced, and that will have affected the production here. But we are getting above this production here, so we might get a level up once we start transmitting, or transporting I should say, some of the fuel to High Wycombe. High Wycombe had a big issue with growth, and we got round to the starting growth with that traffic jam, so it has very real world consequences, the impact of traffic jams. But we have now cleared that. We have got some income from all of those going there, so we should be able to do what we need to do here and start to bring some fuel and tools into Berkhamsted, which is nice. So we can do that. We need to connect up that line. Again, I'm just going to use the one vehicle for now. I've got a road depot here, which we will just have one little vehicle. Is going to be taking the goods from here and bringing it to this stop here. And I have used a passenger stop, which is not a good idea for what we want, so we can replace that. So that vehicle will start chuntering along and connecting that, which means the demand here is going to be communicated through. We also have Stockton-on-Tees out here, and there's no real direct road, but I would like to connect Stockton-on-Tees as a drop-off point, at least initially as a drop-off point in here. So we'll put in a cargo stop somewhere in the industrial area of Stockton-on-Tees, and we'll connect another line to Stockton-on-Tees from our cargo depot, and that will start to communicate that demand to there. So we need to rename these lines, so we will call this the Stockton goods line, and we'll call this one the Berkhamsted branch goods, because we're coming from the branch line, and we'll do that. So that's going to start communicating some of the needs there. So we do need to get some tools in here, which will start to flow through from there. We may also start to get some traffic build up. So the Berkhamsted goods, there's nothing waiting on there. We do have quite a lot waiting to go to Market Bosworth. There's obviously a high demand there, and our rate currently on that line is just a 1. We have the 1 vehicle doing that, so it's never going to keep that up with that demand. We're going to start to lose some of that material there, so we do need to up the number of vehicles. So we're going to probably spend all of my remaining money upping this rate to something more reasonable. Maybe 20, close to 20 would be good. We'll do one more. I've not got enough money. So we're going to do that. We have good traffic flow through there. How are our lines looking balance-wise? You see, we are still losing money on our Chertsey goods. That is a very, very long line, and at the moment is carrying nothing at all. So I don't know if that's because we're deadheading on the way back from Chertsey, or there's nothing waiting in our depot at Carnforth for the Chertsey goods. We've got 8 goods waiting there. We've got, that's the Keynsham goods. So maybe, I think goods production is something we need to bring in more. There's definitely a demand for goods to Chertsey, and there will be to other places. There's quite a lot of goods now being diverted to not to Market Bosworth just yet. Chertsey goods, there's 9 waiting there, and that is coming from here. So that also might be affected by the traffic jam that we had here. Wolverton Plastics, there is quite a bit of refined oil waiting on that line, and we're only making 24 at the moment. Interesting. But we are getting up to 43, 44 goods being produced there. So it is quite hard to scale up when you have horse-drawn carts, because there's so many vehicles with such low capacity. It does really impact what you're trying to achieve. So looking at the terminals, we are getting almost full with this, and we're going to start to lose some of this goods. And I know the vehicles we just made have not come through just yet, so I might put in another cargo depot on this side, just to avoid losing some of these goods over here, while we wait for those vehicles to do their round trips and come back and pick those up. Do we have any demand coming along towards our new depot, which is our Berkhamsted goods? There's nothing there waiting. We need to get some more supplies in here, that is for sure. So we have a machines factory over here, steel nearby, and there is also ore nearby to that, so that could work out well. But we would also need wooden planks, which we could draw from the network. We could supply to Berkhamsted here, and that would bring it up there, and then we could take that to the machine factory, so that could work quite well. But that is the factory that we are also using to produce our tools. Now our tools are being taken to here. So our Berkhamsted timber is taken, that's the one that's running from there. Let me see, so which one is doing the planks on this line? Berkhamsted timber is stopping off a Highfield Road, and then it is coming, so we're doing a trip. We're getting wood from there, we're taking the wood to there with the timber, then taking the planks to there and picking up more wood. Okay, so we could do with bringing up some of those tools as well. The logs line, that is bringing those logs. So what we can do is, if we will we bring up any tools? So we're taking logs from here, and then we're deadheading on the way back, which is not ideal for that timber line. What we need really is we need to be able to bring some of these tools in this direction and drop them off here. We have vehicles going in this direction, but they are taking logs through there. and then getting here in tools. So we need to bring these tools into the fold here. So what we could do is we could take I think we're gonna have to, we'll drop it in there. We could then add a stop there to bring that there and bring that back. It's not really going to reduce our deadheading in any meaningful way. We really need to be able to bring something back this way, bring those planks back this way, and then bring the tools that way. If we were to do that, then we would be deadheading on that journey. Although, is it a 1-to-1 or a 1-to-2? So it is 1-to-2. So potentially the vehicles that are coming this way, picking up the logs, on the way back they could take the tools that are being produced. Because there's a 2-to-1 ratio, although we are sending a lot in. So it's planks to tools there. That works well. I think we're just going to have to, we want to start getting some tools into this mix. That will start to flow into Stockton on Tees, but also to anywhere else that we've currently connected that needs tools, which may just be these two places actually. And we'll have to find if we can bring something back to here, which would be useful to avoid that deadheading. But we might just have to do that to start transporting some of these tools, because we're not transporting any of these at the moment. So let's do that. We've got some money. We're going to replace, will that replace the existing stop? It won't currently. Let's pause the game. We'll get rid of that stop, and we will put in our cargo depot here, which will pick up that traffic. So we have now our Highfield Road. We're going to bring the tools from Highfield Road and drop them off at the Berkhamsted branch, which will connect them into the wider network. So we need a vehicle, and we'll do 3 for now. We don't want to spend too much money on this because we are doing a lot of deadheading on this trip, and that might help with bringing some of the tools. If we do get an excess of tools which are not being brought up there, we can bring some tools back, and potentially some planks. We'll see. Okay, so we'll call this our Highfield, need a capital letter, Highfield Road Tools, and we'll start to see that being done and tools being produced there. So hopefully that will help to upgrade this one. We've got 4 levels which we can get into our network through there. We've also got many more planks, logs which we can get from nearby. Yeah, it's a 1-to-1 ratio of planks to logs, so it would make a lot of sense for the tools and the planks to be going from the same place. And if we, yeah, it's a shame that doesn't actually connect in. That one does, this one does not connect into a number node. So maybe if we'd moved that a bit closer, we could have got rid of that depot, which might be what we have to do. Otherwise we're going to have to start moving it between, which would be quite annoying. So what did we say we were doing? We were looking at our line. They're a bit close together here. And there's with the no connection there. If we just add the stop in there, they could take the planks back there, collect some planks and head off back to Highfield Road, and then we could potentially take out that trip for the log. So if we manage the Highfield Road line, after you've been to Berkhamsted branch, I want you to head to here and collect some tools, and then we go to our log line, which is a long line here, and we're just going to take out the trip to Highfield Road. So we're just going to deadhead that. So this is purely going to take the planks And there's a 1-to-1 ratio, so that makes life a lot easier actually with that. So these can just concentrate on shipping as many logs as possible to Upper Berkhamsted. So we might need to configure this to make it a little bit bigger to allow more of that to go. So we've got our Highfield Road tools, Berkhamsted timber. That is bringing in the timber from there. We could also bring in the timber from here. So we've got 3 lines here. We do need some more lines, places with which to take out our cargo. So we'll put in an exit as well at the end there, which goes nicely onto the road. And then we can say to the log lines, what we'll say to these lines, we'll manage them and we'll say, look, you drop off at Upper Berkhamsted on any platform, and we'll go to the timber line, Upper Berkhamsted again, any platform, Highfield Road tools, no, Upper Berkhamsted, that's the one we want. We can do any platform. Stockton goods. Where Stockton goods is going a very long way around. All my life. Okay, we forgot to do the road for Stockton goods, so we do need to sort that out. So they're coming out here with Stockton goods. They could come in here. We could take that road out across here in a nice sweep over there. So we'll build that now. We've got a bit of money to do that. Let's build a medium country road. Not built any of these yet. So we'll head out in this general direction. We are going downhill here. And we'll come around this timber yard, so we need to wait for some more money to come in to build that road, which is a bit annoying. Could connect in there, but I kind of want to sweep to this point here to make that happen. So we've got a lot of timber now building up. We are producing 82, and our Highfield Roads timber is a rate of 7, so we do need to manage these vehicles and increase that before we build that Stockton Roads, because this is... Otherwise we're going to start losing a lot of the timber that's on here already and not bringing those tools in. So the tools should start to build up here. Are we making any tools? We have so far lost some, but we've not transported any. We need to get some of that timber down. Is that on its way? What's happening? So yeah, definitely need more vehicles on that line. Have we got any? I might have to seriously took a thump to our earnings, but this tools line is going to make us some good money, I feel. Whereas the deadheading is probably going to mean we're going to break even on those lines, which I'm okay with. But we've got a nice line here which is going to start making some money, so we need to lean into that. So it's going to, yeah, not ideal having to pick up and go between these two, but at least they are connected. One thing I don't want to happen is when we've picked up from this branch line, Berkhamsted branch, so we are taking tools to Berkhamsted branch. So I don't want to load anything when I get there. When I get to Upper Berkhamsted, don't go there. I don't want to unload anything there. So I don't want to unload. I will just want to pick up the timber, and I want to load here. So I'm going to just change that, and I'm going to say don't unload here, pick up. And when you get to here, you can load and unload. Specifically, I could say that we want to unload our planks, and we want to pick up our tools here. So we can be specific there to make sure we don't get any kind of weird thing where we start to bring stone through the network here. And I suppose you could do that here at Upper Berkhamsted. We only want to be picking up loading with planks here. And when we come to the Berkhamsted branch area, we want to be dropping off tools. So that's going to make sure that we don't get any sort of contamination through this network, as it were. Still struggling on the money front. Market Bosworth goods, we added a lot of vehicles to that. That's now nearly empty. Honiton Steel's got quite a lot going on it, but it is not making money, so I really hope Honiton Steel is not stuck somewhere. We've got traffic jams. How are we looking with Honiton Steel? It doesn't look too bad. There is some deadheading on that line, but they do bring back steel in this direction. So that's surprising that is. Chertsey goods. A High Wycombe oil line is starting to make money again, which is nice. We've got nice free flowing traffic through there. We do potentially need to upgrade this drop off here. Oh, I've got no money to do it. We're losing some of that oil. So why is oil being taken here? This is interesting. So High Wycombe oil line. He's still got oil. He's got crude oil. Where's he going? He's heading to High Wycombe Central with crude oil, which I don't understand. I think this is where you need to get specific with your... When you start connecting the network, you need to get specific with what you are doing, because otherwise you start to get weird deadheading through your network. So we're going to have to manage this line and make sure we're doing specifically what we want. So at Honiton Holt here, we are unloading only crude oil, and we are loading only refined oil. We don't want anything else. Honiton South or Honiton Central here, we are... Where are we going from here? We are just unloading our refined oil. And when we get to High Wycombe South, we just want to be picking up. No unloading here. We just want to pick up our crude oil. So hopefully that stops this weird problem of dropping off random bits of crude oil. You can see High Wycombe Fuel is now taking crude oil, which is going to go into the network and go elsewhere, and you can see it's now waiting here. So it's not necessarily such a problem that it's being transported through our network, but it does create a problem in that we're depriving this fuel area of refined oil because we're deadheading this way. We've got refined oil waiting and nobody's picking it up. So hopefully we can see them. So you're going to High Wycombe Central again with crude oil. What is happening? Why are you not dropping off? High Wycombe Holt. Unload the crude, pick up refined. So he's carrying on. Why have you still got oil? He's coming with 4. We dropped that off, but we've picked up more oil. Why is that happening? Now we can fuel. We might need to set this line up to go to any platform at High Wycombe Central. We'll let them use any line here, try and relieve some of that traffic there. So we have some problems. We have some logistics problems we've got to solve. I can't understand. So if you're coming in here with oil, surely you drop it off. You're still carrying on with 2. Why are you carrying on with 2? Oh, that is maddening. Somehow we're getting crude oil still through this network here and being taken on. What is happening? So you've still got 1. You're dropping off 4. Dropped off 2. Why are we... Unload it. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, this is beyond my expertise in this game. Oh, what are we doing? What are we doing? Hi, we can hold. Unload. Just that. Do not pick up. Unload the whole thing. Pick up refined. Load the refined. I mean, there's no refined here. I know there is. There's all this refined oil. Now, the High Wycombe Annex oil, that's not going to have a problem because it's not getting in the way of anything there. But the High Wycombe oil line, why are we not unloading? There we go. We did it. We had one. Have we solved the problem? Is it just it needed to bed in? Whee! There's another one. Oh, man. Okay, I need to see this again. One more time. 3's a charm. Because this line is crucial to the financial stability of this transport business we've got here. And I can't have it deadheading like that. So it is flowing nicely through here. Using 2 platforms is actually... Your multiple platforms really does relieve the traffic. That's the Annex oil. Just double check they're not picking anything weird up. I don't think they have because their Annex oil depot is not really connected to anything, so they should just deadhead from there. And we are now dropping off our oil, and that is going to increase production and the shipping from there, which is what you want to see. So High Wycombe oil line, hopefully we see some more money coming in here and we can complete our road to Stockton on Tees because we ran out of money. So let's carry on with this medium country road. Oh my word, £1 million? Okay. We are going to be somewhat careful about this. And I want to sweep around here towards Stockton there and join in about there when I have the money again. Okay, so that's going to make our Stockton goods line a lot more efficient because the poor guy was going on an absolute marathon. You can see there he is. Absolute marathon all the way around there, so that was never going to happen. How are we doing with our tool production now? So we're producing about 19, and have we got build-up planks? We do have a build-up of planks on the tool line. We've only got the 23. We are producing 86, so we need 4 times as many vehicles on this line. Let's put a little storage there just to lose a bit less of the planks, and as we get some money in for that tools line, hopefully we can start to do that. So Highfield Road, use either side to drop off and pick up. There's going to be a lot going on here. So we do need more vehicles on there. Unfortunately, we are still not doing well for money. So High Wycombe, Honiton Steel is now making some good money. High Wycombe oil line is climbing up back to where we need it to be, and we are starting to approach a place where we can bring more vehicles onto this tool line. So, I lost it again. Right, I'm going to take a loan because I do want to bring more tools. I think this is going to be a profitable line. So I'm going to double the number of vehicles on that line, and they're going to start coming out from here, I believe. Or where are they coming from? Are they coming out from here? They're coming out from here. They're going to start to drop into there and bring that forward, so that is good. Now we do need to start to look. So our balance sheet is looking a lot better now. There's a lot more in the blue, which we like to see. Even our passenger lines are doing pretty well, bringing in some income. The Market Bosworth loop has 0 passengers on it, which is a bit of a problem. I think maybe Market Bosworth does need to grow. And is Market Bosworth getting... So we do have Market Bosworth goods. Bricks are going that way. We do have the bricks there. There's a rate of 41. Are we supplying all? We've got 13. So that is helping it to grow. Lots of transport connections. We don't have any goods, which is not helping it to grow, but it is a small place, target population of 59. So it's not going to grow that big. So we are struggling with the passenger numbers. The passengers, however, do like going to High Wycombe, which is... let's see, is it growing? It's growing again, but it has had a fall. Oh, so it is up and down, High Wycombe. We're not getting any goods out here just yet. So that is potentially an issue. I would like to produce some more fuel. This is the only place in the network that's producing fuel at the moment. And that's purely down to our refined oil from there. So hopefully, yeah, we've started to whittle down this refined oil that's been produced there. So our percent transported is increasing. We do have an oil, a crude oil station there, but there is a refinery here. And is there anything nearby that which would be useful? So there are also lots of crude. There's loads of oil on this map. There's loads of oil there which we could supply this crude oil. So I think this one we could definitely use to drop off onto here and increase the production of refined oil. And that will make the High Wycombe oil line, which has a 181 rate, is going to make that much better because we are halfway towards what we can do with the High Wycombe oil line. We've got quite a big build-up of traffic here on this side of the High Wycombe oil line, which we need to resolve. So we're going to bring in a couple of extra platforms either side here. And we'll just tell them to use any at High Wycombe South. So any that you like, you can pick up and drop off, and hopefully that will mean we start to relieve some of this traffic. So they are waiting. Is it because they're waiting there's no oil there? So it's got a rate of 181. We're shipment of 100 and transporting it only. Maybe this is backing up. They're producing 400. We've got a rate of 170. So they are waiting for a full load on these platforms, I believe. So this oil well is not producing fast enough. I don't know why. We've got 400 being produced. We've only got 170 as our throughput through here. So everything that we're doing is being taken by these vehicles. And all this waiting time is going to increase that. But maybe as we increase our transport, we'll increase the shipment and we won't be losing any. I think potentially we've lost quite a lot of material sat at here while we had the whole traffic jams everywhere else, and we were shipping crude oil all around the place. So let's bring in some more crude oil from down here. It's quite a long trip to do, but I think that's probably the best destination for that one, because it could go to here, but there's all these around here. The other potential one is I bring it from this one, but I think this is more direct route. I think this is the one to do. So we're going to build a cargo station with a single platform, nice and in here. We're going to do it for a bit cheaper. We're going to bring that in there. We have got a vehicle platform, vehicle depot here. We'll utilize that one rather than building another one. And how many can I afford? I can afford 15. We'll pop them here to collect from there. And this is our on-gar crude. So we've got our on-gar crude on the way. Hopefully we get some crude oil from here. So they are going to start loading that on, and we will start to pick it up. That will hopefully increase our production of refined oil here, which is going to make the High Wycombe oil line more profitable. And we've still got a backup here at the High Wycombe. I think what we might have to do with the High Wycombe oil line is we'll have to take away the full load requirement at High Wycombe South. Load if available, because we don't want to miss out on some of the refined oil coming through. So we need to keep that traffic flowing, and also all the time that we are waiting with all these vehicles for a full load, we're losing money because our transport time does affect our profit from that line. So looking at it, we've solved the problem of the traffic jams in this episode. We have got some highly profitable lines, we have got some unprofitable lines. Honiton Steel is back down there again, so the maintenance costs have just come through. Our balance is looking a lot healthier. Finances wise, we are doing better, but not as good as we were. I mean, yeah, our revenue has not come back to the scale that we had just a couple of years ago. So the shareholders will not be happy. We had a pretty linear progression, and we've had a bit of a market crash and some instability here. So we definitely need to try and get above this 3 million mark again for income, and hopefully we can then continue to expand our connections and improve our infrastructure. So that's all for this episode. I'll see you in the next one, where we will continue to connect all our industries and all our towns and make $1 billion. Thank you very much.